Took my family away from my Carolina home, had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Dance hall girls were the evening treat, empty cartridges and blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave, tears flow free for her man she couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Waiting for me there.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, welcome to another Tuesday night Hangout Live. Tonight we have a couple of New Englanders with us, Wes and Tom of Hippie Explorer. And I'd like to welcome Mark Thomas and Julie to the Flash fam. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I greatly appreciate it. Now, with no further ado, let's get over to the other set and bring my two partners in crime in and our guests. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I.
Live.
You're definitely live, Jesse.
Ruby, am I live?
Ruby,
Yeah.
kick him in the gonads and see if he's alive.
No, that would only hurt me.
Thanks, Moto Mining.
What's up, Ed?
Oh, not much. How was Montana?
Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. That's.
I
I,
told
I think
you.
I think I'm down to 5 more states for me to visit, and I will have visited every state in the country.
In
Oh
the
wait,
country or lower 48?
no, in the country, because I've been to Alaska. I haven't been to Hawaii. I haven't been to North Dakota, South Dakota, Washington, Oregon.
Well, you better get on that. There's a lot of beauty in the
Maine,
Pacific
and
Northwest.
66. Maine.
And
I'm gonna have to get up to Maine, huh?
yeah. Maine's
Well, I hear
beautiful.
they got gold there.
Oh, there's no gold in Maine, especially where Brian Wilder dredges. You
There's no
know?
gold there.
He sucked it all up.
We're in Vermont, Jesse. We were close.
Yeah,
We were
real close. Just
We were close.
hop,
Got
skip,
all
and a
of
jump.
Minnesota.
And Dano, you're heading out to Blue Leads outing up on Union Flats on the North Yuba this weekend, huh?
I leave tomorrow.
You're leaving tomorrow for California.
Go meet up with Todd, pick up my RV, and head out to the mountains.
Looks
Awesome.
like we have a Digging with Deeds raid. Thank you, everybody. Mark Thomas, Outdoorsy Gallo. How you doing, everybody? Gary, good to see you. Been a minute.
Howdy.
I see Hippie Explorers in the live chat room.
Yeah, we're here. We're glad to be here. Tom is here. We've got the chat going over here.
Yeah.
Tom's
Excellent.
working that. And we just got back from a 9-day trip up into Vermont.
Cool.
We're leaving
Around,
tomorrow for another one.
and we're leaving tomorrow for another 9 days.
Yeah, let's say hi to our chat room here.
Yes.
I want to answer Old Dog's question. Rose is doing family thing right now, so she won't be on.
Well, let's just say her biological mother could use some prayers. And
Right,
speaking of
right.
mothers, which a lot of you who cut the auction knows, my mom had a bad fall. I almost had to go to Washington early. She's stable, still in the hospital. No bleeding on the brain anymore. So I had a nice talk with her yesterday. So thank you, Flash Fam, for all your positive thoughts and prayers towards my mom. So And now we could also give some to roses. So sorry.
So again, what's up? There's Moto Mining and Heavy Metal Detective, Gary Sheldon, Cheryl Lemie.
There's GPU.
Let's
Pro
see.
Limited.
Who else did I see? Oh, hey, there's Bill Ohio Rock.
Did we talk about our world's greatest moderator yet?
No,
Oh, no.
Mr. Lodak. And
Loadout.
I
Is he
see
here?
Patrick Moore's here also.
Yep, Patrick's in here. Patrick will
David,
be at your house
how are
about
you?
5:30 in the morning.
So you
Oh, yeah.
better be up.
Right?
He told me to call him when I got close.
So,
Uh,
what's Rusty?
We have some Australian friends in the house tonight. Terry Marshall, good to see you.
There's Willie and Mr. Lodak.
Oh, there's Bill just showed up. Ohio Relic Hunter. What's up, Bill?
Good to see
CPU
you.
in the house. And I saw Chrissy a minute ago. What's up, outdoorsy gal? Oh,
Bring donuts. He wants me to bring
Here.
donuts.
Stop. Wanna go outside?
She's gotta go potty.
It sounds
No,
like Jesse's
yes.
dog needs to tinkle.
You want to go outside? No, she knows I'm on the Zoom call and like, kids.
Okay.
What do you?
It's show night tonight. I'm gonna bother Dad.
She wants to
Go,
make
go,
her
go.
show you.
I can't make her toenail noise though on my desk though. Mark Kenowaski, welcome. And yeah, every Tuesday night, 4 years straight now, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to have you.
So I noticed in the chat room a little earlier before we came on, how's Holly doing?
I know they have to go out to California, I believe it is. Some family stuff. They have some stuff going on. So the Nabities could probably use some positive vibes heading their way too.
Yep, I'm sure. Deck, hello. Thanks for joining us.
And yes, hey Ed, squirrel. Thanks, Willie. Willie sent me a picture of a squirrel.
Nothing major, Ed. She had a checkup and recovering from it. That's pretty heavy duty checkup. If you're recovering from it.
Well,
Outdoor Wally.
All right, so
hey, Stack Deck, hello. Your package went out today. I'll be sending tracking numbers probably tomorrow. Sorry. Work, then the show on Tuesday nights. My night's pretty late. Yeah, plus I'm an acting foreman on a multi-million job right now, guys. So
Get on it, big wig.
I hope it turns into a nice raise.
Say hello.
what are you gonna do? Turn into a white shirt?
Ed's getting paid from the neck up.
No. I'm starting to get paid more for my brain instead of my brawn. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Vendetta, good to see you.
Outdoorsy girl, outdoorsy gal in the middle of a storm today.
Bacchus.
Bacchus, 573.
Howdy.
Yahoo Gold Prospecting.
Yeah, that's Terry's other channel.
Yeah.
Our Australian friends. All friends are good friends.
I hear you, Mark. Me too.
And yes, Heavy Meadow, have you met the Hugh Hefner of the Yuba yet? Uh, Tim's a great guy. You'll have a good time up at his claim. Huh?
I don't think he's met them yet, has
He
he?
hasn't met him.
He's been there for a while now.
And then JC's going to be there. Somehow he got hurt, but now he's up and moving again, so he's going to be there.
Well, I hope.
Well, you know what? We failed to say hi to those guys because they're probably.
But Jerry's not coming.
Jerry.
California Motherlode's not coming. He's got his kids.
Oh. Thought he said he was going to try to make it there for one day.
All right, I'll see him in August.
I thought he was going up to the dig.
Well, I think one of his daughters has a birthday or something. It was in our group chat, said he wouldn't be there.
Oh.
But that's all right. I'll be back in August. I'll come home, and about 3.5 weeks later, I go back out for 9 days.
Well, I hope my Goldbug Pro gets Keen Prospectors some nice gold.
You time 20% of the take.
I hope he's been playing with it. But I want vacuum gold. Let me, and I won't take 20 of the take. Just send me some dirt. Send me some dirt.
All right, I'll dig in Todd's backyard and throw a bag in for you.
No. Yuba dirt. Yuba dirt. Or better yet, Gold Mountain dirt.
I wouldn't mind going back to North Fork of the American again. I kind of liked it there.
Where?
North Fork of the American River. That's beautiful down there when we hiked back in there that first time I went out there. That's beautiful.
Oh, the whole area is beautiful in
Yes,
the
it is.
Motherlode.
People say California's a swill hole. No, it's beautiful. Just don't go to the cities.
Hey, being a actual native of that state, thank God I exodus a long time ago, but nothing against the locals of California. I am a native. It's a beautiful state. Now, if San Francisco and LA, maybe part of San Diego, if all that would just break off into an island or get Sacramento in there too, along with all the politicians, and they just slide in the ocean, California would be a beautiful state from border to coast.
Well, look who just showed up. ERRT.
You are 13 minutes and 47 seconds late, ERRT.
$5.
$5, or we get your mama on you. Dang it. That's okay. We'll take it any way we can get it, Ronald. No, it's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Our guests probably don't understand our razzing of Ronald. He's a longtime friend of the Flash in Your Pan family. And
But he deserves it anyways.
yes, he does. He does, because it's you. You are the reason why we're live on Tuesday and at 8. All you.
Ayou guys is in the house.
You guys has been in the house for a while.
He was the first one in here, I think.
Yeah.
He's been lurking.
Mama, pardon me while my cat yells at me.
Oh, that is your cat.
Yeah, that was my cat. It's starting to sound like Lucky.
I was just gonna say, is that Lucky?
Lucky's dead, man.
I know.
Mama cat lasted longer than any of her kitties.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Neville from Washington.
We have Pacific Northwest. We have New England. We have Cali. We have down south, Australia. We're global.
Global.
Has anyone ever tried panning Home Depot sand? I think Jeff Williams did that. Yes, it depends where the sand comes from. You know, shoot, I've taken bags of gravel, sandbags that hold down our temporary fences on job sites and found gold.
Yeah, they
I
say that the sandbag that's carrying the gold is stuff that's usually comes from California or Georgia.
Georgia and yeah, some Michigan sands have
Right.
it.
Michigan, right.
Uh, the sand that came from around Columbus, Ohio, had gold in it. Uh,
Yeah.
well, we had these long sandbags holding down our temporary fence on a job, and
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of pebbles in it. Nice, like quarter-inch pebbles, 3/8 of an inch pebbles, and a bunch of quartz. And I'm like, ooh, ah. So I
Ooh,
took the decomposing bags and I put them in buckets and I brought them home and I ran them. And I did pretty good. But on the job I'm temporary superintendent at now, um, we were doing the retention pond, and about 12 feet below all the loom, the glacial loom and silt from the Black Swamp and glacial Lake Maumee for that created the area I'm in. Um, there's a 3 to 6 inch seam, and it's black and gray with pebbles and some really black sands, but not a lot of magnetite. Was really weird. But I took a bucket, probably no bigger than yay, about 10 inches high and about yay around. I filled it up with the black sand part. I got like 76 specks.
cool.
Unfortunately, it wouldn't be worth mining. And
Right.
it's on top of that a real hard green clay.
Huh.
Uh,
Now you're
a
you
lot like the false bedrock at No Tell'em Creek.
and that, yeah, you're getting into Jaren's type of prospecting.
Yeah, but now it's under like 8 feet of water.
Oh,
So
Dredge it.
dredge it.
yes, sir. Glacial till. That's right. We're moraine hunters here, Mountaineer, Michael. We're moraine hunters. We're all our gold is from Canada, and was brought down in the glaciers. Unlike our guest, where they have native gold in Vermont, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine.
We got Canadian gold, eh?
Yeah. Plus, you have glacial gold deposits too, I'd assume.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of the glaciers in New Hampshire and Vermont, most of the gold is in the Connecticut River Valley in that area. Probably that's where the glacier receded. You get over the mountain range and it becomes a little more scarce. My theory is that the glaciers backed up a lot of gold and deposits into that mountain range, where a lot of people go, the Wild Amanuensis, and even into Vermont in the Connecticut River Valley.
Oh,
Your glacier didn't get past the mountains.
Yeah, when you get over the ridge of the mountains, it drops off dramatically from what I've experienced. And a lot of other prospectors will tell you the same thing. And it's almost like it acted as a barrier and stopped the spread of the placer gold.
It would have traveled on the one side, and
Yeah.
kind of like where,
Tennessee.
And that's what
well,
it did. That's how I envision it. And when I go out looking for rivers, that's what I'm envisioning, is that glacier in that valley working and depositing it as it recedes.
you have lode gold in your area though, so
What's that?
you have native gold in your area too, so that helps.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You have two sources.
Yeah, they had a gold mine up near the Wild Manusic in Lisbon. And they were pulling out some good amounts of gold for many years before they closed it down. I guess in today's standards, it would have been quite a bit of money. I remember hearing the numbers, but I can't recall them at the moment. So there is all kinds of gold if you're willing to go out there and look for it.
Oh, ain't that the truth, Wes? And it's all over. But I have to give a super nuclear, oh yeah, super chat for Willie's $50 super chat and Vendetta's $5 super chat. Oh yeah, super chat.
Really threw down the gauntlet.
Yeah, he did. Man, thanks, brother. Thank you. Golden Connecticut is scarce, but it can be found. That it can, Mark. That it can. You just got to get out there and look for it.
Yep. In Connecticut, it's around that Connecticut River Valley that and the mountainous areas of Connecticut. And it's fine gold, but a lot of the gold in New England is fine, although there are nice nuggets here too. I've seen some great nuggets come out of New Hampshire and Vermont and Maine.
I had a pretty good afternoon in Vermont. I was up with some other YouTubers there, Jesse and well,
Oh, YouTubers.
we all went up there, or was it Dano went, didn't he? When I went?
You went. I went with Jesse and Patrick and Luke.
Okay, but who was else with us, Jesse? Was it just you and I that went that time when I went and saw my son in Mass?
No, Patrick, was he with us?
Shoot.
No, maybe it was just me and you.
I'm having a wicked case of CRS.
Yeah, I hear you.
But that was a couple of years ago. I think if I remember right, I pulled 1.4 grams out of a nice bedrock area in about 4 hours.
Got some Herkimer diamonds too, Luke, dude.
Pardon, Wes?
Luke says I have a few specks of Vermont gold. I said we got Herkimer diamonds too, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We stopped at Herkimer.
Yep.
But me and Ed didn't.
No, I stopped there for a 2-hour break on the way.
Mary says you're having a blonde moment, Ed.
I have those a lot, Mary, a lot.
He is a blonde moment.
I'm glad I can blame it on that. It's kind of hard for Jesse to go, oh, I'm having a blonde moment.
Oh, I'm just old.
You're just old to have CRS. But I have Wes and Tom pinned up. So let's.
Hey, it's their show.
It is your time.
It's your show.
Well, thank you for having us on, first of all. it's great to be here and to talk with everybody and give us an opportunity to talk about what we do.
Excellent, excellent.
And
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
well, what we do is we dig for gold. Well, Tom and I met when we were ATVing years ago in Maine. We would ATV tour. You'd load up an ATV with all your gear and you'd travel for several days from camp to camp to camp. And doing that brought us by a lot of different rivers and streams, and we would see people prospecting. And one day we said, Lauren, why don't we try that? And the next thing you know, we sold the ATVs, and we're out there prospecting. That was about 10 years ago, and about a year ago, we started our channel. And we started prospecting in Maine, mostly in Maine. And then we came into New Hampshire. We did a little bit in Vermont. And last year, we decided, you know, we're beekeepers. That's our day job, Tom and I.
Okay.
We are beekeepers, and we have a honey business. We sell honey and beehive products.
And
Cool.
you can find those products at hippie.com, is it?
The hippie.com. You can find those products there. And we were looking for a way to basically promote our product and show people what we do when we go out prospecting. Because there was a need for it in New England. There was no YouTube channel that was going out there on a weekly show, showing people where they can go, telling people what the rules were, and getting people out there. And so we saw that there was a need for it. So we tried to fill that gap, and we didn't know where it was going to go. We figured we'd try it for a year, and we can use it to help promote our honey business as well. By cooking, and we do a lot of cooking on the show. At the end of the show, we go it's a typical day of a prospector that we try to capture, but we also capture the cooking part of it so that we can show you different ways to use honey.
Yeah, I saw your product placement in your last video.
Yeah, and sometimes the cooking is good, and sometimes it's bad. I'm not a cook, I'm a prospector. So sometimes we smile and say it's good, and other times we don't. But that's just the way it goes. And I think that's what people like, is just our honesty. We're just showing you what we do. Sometimes we go out and we find no gold, but we show you we found no gold. There's nothing here. We can't find it. And then other days we find a lot of it, but that's prospecting.
Right.
Absolutely.
So there, on the video you just put out last week, there's more coming, right?
That was our first trip. We did a 9-day. We wanted to stay for longer, but the rain and weather forced us to leave. But we were there for 9 days, exploring an area of Vermont that I haven't done too much in, and we did a lot in those 9 days. We found, in the very first day, we found out that I emptied out a snuffer bottle and found that gold that I had panned out in a previous episode tarnished and didn't look like gold anymore. So under further inspection, after I hit it with a hammer, I could see that the gold paint was falling off a piece of lead. So, and then some pieces were actually magnetic. So if you want to see that, I mean, I go into more detail in the video of where it came from, and but I'm not out to, it was, the pay dirt had hung around in my house for over a year before so when I did it online in a video, I didn't know what I paid for it. Now, if I did, I would have known something was up, because I only paid $29 for this pay dirt. but there was like $150 in nuggets in it. So if I knew at the time, I would have known right away, but I didn't. So until months later, when we took it out of the snuffer bottle, and there it was.
That's crazy. So let me. How do you keep your partner so quiet?
He does his own thing. when I stop talking long enough, he gets a word in every now and then. Maybe he's been talking to people on the chat, and everything we kind of do, we do as a team. Same in our business.
He's the talker.
I'm the talker. Okay.
You need someone to listen, because I don't hear nothing. To be honest.
So you said that the reason you started doing a YouTube channel was because there was nobody else doing anything in your area.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I mean, there were videos, but nothing regular. Just someone on vacation showing what they found in a river, and that was it.
You're actually looking to do a weekly type show where you would come on and.
Yeah, we put up a video every Wednesday at 7:30 on a different river in a different place in New England. Some of them we've been to before, some of them we haven't. Like I say in the video, we go out and we try to see if there's gold in this river. And if there is, we'll let you know. If there isn't, well, we'll tell you. We're going to show you what we do for that day. And in New Hampshire, a lot of the best gold areas I found in New Hampshire within the national park. So all you can use is a pan and a hand trowel. Outside of the national park, you can use a sluice box in New Hampshire. So we do some of that as well. In Vermont, you can't use a sluice box unless you get a permit with landowner written permission. So most people don't.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And in Maine, you can use a sluice box, and you can use a dredge as well there. And we haven't had a chance to get into Maine to do, like I said, that's where I started prospecting. So I have a lot of experience there. I just haven't filmed anything there yet. It's on my list.
Now, you sound like to me, you sound like you're from Mass. Are you from
Yes,
Mass?
I am. I'm from Massachusetts. I live just south of Lowell.
Oh, that's where my son lives.
Yes, I'm a Lowell class American.
My ex-wife's from North Chelmsford.
Oh yeah.
Lived there for a while.
Yeah, I heard that. I was talking with you before about that. And it's a nice area. It's close. I mean, when I go up, the reason I camp when I go prospecting is because it's a 2-hour drive or more. 2 hours is like the closest area. Generally, I'm driving 2.5, 3 hours. So when we go up, we'll stay for as long as our business allows us to, and make as many episodes as we can. That way, because we do 52 episodes a year, plus we put some up for members and Patreon members, exclusive episodes. So we're doing 60, 65 episodes a year. So when we go up, we try to make as many as possible, because driving back and forth is too much.
Right. Well, we travel about the same distance for our gold. Anywhere from an hour and a half to 4 hours.
Gotta go where the gold is. It's not gonna come to me.
That's right. I've driven farther for gold prospecting and snowboarded.
Yeah.
But I think about the farthest is for prospecting. But it's an adventure. It's, geez. Yeah, I don't call it a hobby. I call it a lifestyle. Because once you get the fever, it sucks you in and it engulfs your your entire lifestyle and how you do things.
It's,
Uh,
it, it's really the treasure hunt. I think everybody likes a treasure hunt.
yeah, it's not so much the gold I'm after, but the hunt, finding
Yeah.
the gold, the
And as
uh,
frustrating as it can be sometimes, that frustration is what makes you twice as happy when you do find that nice pocket of gold or that nice nugget. And then once you get that gold bug,
oh yeah.
and you're spending weeks in a tent like me, doing crazy things.
Right,
One of the
right.
crazy things. One of the crazy things are these nice little boaties. You see these boats? This one has Ayou guys prospecting on it. And
Hey, you guys!
Ayou guys, he's number 11, and we're going to race them down the river next time and give a. If I and hopefully I can contain them all for our members.
That's
And,
great. Charlie's a great guy.
We try to yes, he is, and we try to keep things interesting because it can get real boring for a viewer just watching somebody pan over and over and over.
Oh yeah.
Sluice box run for 30 minutes, and our videos are 30 minutes long because we're trying to show the whole day. From when I get up in the morning, where we go to prospect, we do our prospecting, and then or we may have to set up a camp or take it down, and building the fire and cooking the meal and anything else that may happen, tragedies, flat tires, car accidents, anything that happens throughout that day, you just film it. Just film what happens, what you do, and cut out what you don't need, put the interesting stuff in. And when we started a year ago, we were hoping that some people would watch. And it seems like a few people are watching, so we're going to keep on filming.
Well, you're doing pretty good. You're at 1.39K, you know.
10 more to get over that 1,400, and that's about a year. So I was hoping to be somewhere in that area. But we get a lot of great support from the viewers, and that's what keeps us going. I mean, that's what it is, really. If we weren't getting the support and people watching and commenting and hitting that subscribe button, we wouldn't be here. But we are, and here we are.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've done this for a year, and I'm sure you read your comments and your videos around. Are your viewers more interested in the gold or your cooking, or is there any? Have you noticed which way they're going?
Well, at first, there was a lot of gold prospecting fans and viewers, mainly because that's who we targeted, because that's what we're doing. That's what we do when we go out. But we promote it through entertainment. We're in the entertainment category, so we pick up people that are just looking for something interesting to watch. And I think some of the things we do are interesting. We try to keep it interesting, and we've got a lot of subscribers that way.
I like your premieres, and I know you do a lot of premieres so you can chat real time with your audience during your show. I enjoy premieres for that reason too, the interaction with the community.
Yeah.
That's why I'm totally addicted to live streaming, really. I unfortunately, sorry everybody, I've been really lacking with my edited material for the past 4 years. Please forgive me. But I love live streaming and being with you live so much. You know, it's, geez, the new crack, I swear.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean, because the editing, I mean, we film for a day, and then it takes me, it was taking me a long time. Now it's taking me a few hours, 3 hours, 4 hours or so, about that. Minimum, yeah. Minimum to edit a video and get it to where I want. So it takes a lot of time. I didn't expect it to be that much when I started. I thought I'd film something and clip, and throw it up. And it was, but it has evolved into something
It does. Wait till it evolves into one where you have 36 hours into editing, and then you get it up and you go, oh, I could have did that different.
Yeah,
I should have watched it one more time before I uploaded it.
And now we're getting into doing all our own audio music for our videos. We do use a lot of YouTube music, but Tom plays guitar. And if you've seen the opening of our show, I've been singing for years. And I do some work in studios with a band. So I said, why not? And we did a song and we put it up there. And it's gotten good. Maybe next year I'll have a different one. We're trying to put our own music slowly in to transition to all of our own
Well,
stuff.
we'll have to invite you to next year's Splash Bash, and you could come play some music with our buddy Mark Miller.
Miller, yeah, I've heard. That would be. I've seen a lot of stuff from the Flash Bash from a couple weeks ago.
Oh, it's a great time. I cannot lie about that. It's
It
a
looked like a really
time.
great time.
There's one.
Yeah, Charlie was there actually. Number 11. Hey, you guys. Great guy. Great guy. Yeah. You should have heard. Hey, Mark, I want a good MP3 if I can of that song you wrote for Flash Bash. I know I'm asking a lot, ain't I? But Mark Miller wrote a really cool song about Flash Bash.
I haven't heard it. Where can I hear it?
On JP's channel, it's still on there. One of the few bars that he left up on Saturday.
Okay.
I heard it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I need to go back with the position I may have for this week. I have like hardly any time. I want to go back and record it.
Come on, you're a boss now. You sit at a desk and just play around all day.
No, I don't. I'm not one of those type of bosses. I gotta get in there and say, what? Did they teach you this in trade school? You come on, kid. Get down in here, get dirty, and do it.
You do that until you put that white shirt on.
No,
I owned a construction company in my early life. I took over my father's construction company after he passed away, and I ran that for 10 years. But I was tired of working that hard, and I moved to something else. But construction is tough work.
It makes you sure feel old, Wes, let me tell you.
Beekeeping.
What's that?
How did you get into beekeeping?
How did I get into beekeeping? Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I like honey, and I was doing some candle making years ago, and that made me interested in getting beeswax. And I said, well, why don't I get my own bees and I'll have honey and beeswax? Well, now I've got a lot of honey and beeswax. And it's one of those things that once I got into it, I couldn't stop. You know, every spring the hives multiply. So right now I can only fit so many on those 6 right now. I got six right now on this property, and that's as much as I want. Because they can be a lot of work. It's a lot of work when you got time to get stung and get the honey. And you know, you got to do what you got to do.
I've been watching a lot of beekeepers on TikTok. Interesting.
Yeah, I just sit out there and watch them a lot, just going. I'm so used to them now. I know when they're happy, when they're not acting right. I can watch a hive and tell you that it's being robbed by another hive, or if they're agitated.
We get stung all the time.
And we get stung enough to know to stay away at certain times because they don't want you there.
So they actually have other hives come in and do like a raid?
Yeah, other hives will rob a weak hive, or sometimes hornets or wasps will go in, and they go in for the queen. They know, for some reason, they know to kill the queen, and once you kill a queen, the hive will die, it'll weaken, and then they can come in and take whatever they. Some other insects will go after the larva, some will go after the honey. But even my beehives, if one hive starts to get weak, the others will rob it and take its honey if they can't protect it. So all hives have to be strong enough to defend themselves. That's life.
Yeah,
And
ain't
the bees,
that the
each
truth?
hive, they all work together so perfectly. It's amazing how bees work. Unfortunately, all the men get kicked out in the wintertime to die, but that's what bees do. And because the females take care of all the brood and cluster around the queen all winter, so that in the spring, the queen will start laying more bees and males each spring. So it's an interesting cycle.
That's crazy. How about any problems with killer bees? David B wants to know.
Not up in this, not where I live in Massachusetts. It's not yet. It's too cold. They wouldn't last the winters. In warmer climates, it's a problem. I've had some very aggressive hives, and they can be an issue because even if your bee suit is too tight in spots, they'll sting you right through it. So sometimes they can be difficult. If I get a hive that's too aggressive, I'll go in and take the queen out and put a different queen in, and that'll tame the hive down. Because it all depends on the queen. If it's a queen, for some reason, a queen, it can make a hive aggressive, and another queen will make it calm.
Huh.
Unfortunately, aggressive bees make a lot of honey. So you don't want too calm, but you don't want too aggressive. There's a nice balance you're looking for.
Huh.
They're probably out robbing other hives.
Yeah.
They're not making more honey. They're out robbing honey.
They could, you never know. They go after people's hummingbird feeders and things like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll drink all the fluid out of a hummingbird feeder if you leave it. If it's just sugar, which a lot of people do.
Well, that's okay.
Right, sugar water.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So aggressive bees make more honey.
Yeah, because they go out there and they're more aggressive. Because bees live about 28 days, and they die not because they die because they work themselves to death. Their wings wear out, and all they can do is walk around. And once that happens in a hive, the hive will kick you out, and then you're on your own. But that's how the life of a bee starts off. The drone bees, they don't do nothing. They only do one job. And I'm sure you can guess what that is. To find a queen in another hive. The female bees, they raise the young, they do all the foraging, they make all the honey, they do it all. And they live about 28 days because they work themselves to death. In the winter, when they're not foraging and they're just in the hive, they can live 2 months. But in the summer, they just wear their wings out within less than a month.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, David V wants to know what makes bees swarm.
That's when bees multiply. That's how they reproduce. What they will do is the queen will lay a new queen. And when that queen hatches, the old queen will take some bees and leave. And they'll go swarm and go to a tree somewhere and look for a new home. And the new queen will stay in the hive with the bees, and she has to find, and what the new queen does is she'll go out on a mating flight after about 10 to 15 days after coming out of her cell. And drone bees from other hives will come and mate with the queen. And if a male bee, a drone bee, is lucky enough to mate with the queen, he dies. And then the queen goes back to the hive sometime with the penises of the male bees still hanging out of her, back to the hive. I didn't mean to get this graphic, but you asked. So, and then go back to the hive, and once she's mated, she will start laying 3,000 eggs a day.
This is getting
Wow.
Getting excited. And what's interesting, one of the most interesting things about a beehive is this, which is the last thing if a queen dies, the bees left can make a new queen. And what they do is they take the larva of a regular bee, a regular female bee, which is a worker bee, which is not a queen. A queen lives for 7 years. A worker bee lives for 28 days. But a queen lives for 7 years. But the bees take this larva that was going to be a worker bee, and they feed it a thing called royal jelly, which is a white substance, a lot of amino acids in it. And it turns that worker bee into a queen bee, and now that bee will live for 7 years and have their own hive and control hive. So that's a strange transformation that I don't think science has figured out yet.
That's weird.
They're fascinating.
Any issues with killer bees?
No issues with killer bees around here because we're too far north. Killer
So,
bees.
no Africanized bees or South American killer bees or anything like that, huh?
No, they got them down in Florida, Texas, Southern California. You get up to the middle states and it just, they can't survive the cold. But they make great honey from what I hear. They get a lot.
Huh.
I know there's a difference between the types of honey, like the types of flowers. I mean, my favorite honey is clover.
Clover
Love
honey.
It's got such a distinct flavor.
Yeah.
But I recently found out that there's also a summer honey and a fall honey.
Yeah, honey that I take out of the hive. Every area is different because it all depends on the flowers in your area. Now,
Right.
where I live in the spring, the honey is light colored. But as the season goes on, it gets darker and darker because of different flowers that are blooming throughout the year. Clover honey is a popular one because it's so abundant. But there are other honeys that, if you like clover honey, knotweed honey is my favorite. It is just full of flavor. It almost tastes like caramel. It's a dark honey. A lot of honey connoisseurs like dark honey because of the different flavors. That's where all your flavors come in, dark honey. Light honey is your standard honey that you might find in the store, but that's just kind of plain. It's just sugar and not so much the flavors of the different flowers. There are some honeys that taste like flowers. They're amazing. A good knotweed honey is amazing. And the different flowers, the orange groves, they make honey that has like a little bit of an orange flavor to it because they're getting the nectar from the orange flowers. Blueberry, same thing. Up here in the Northeast is cranberry honey. They pollinate the cranberry plants.
Oh, I've never heard that.
That sounds good.
And it has a little bit of a cranberry flavor to it. Not much, very, very little. Same thing with the blueberry. You get just a hint of blueberry when because they pollinate the blueberry plants up in Maine here and the cranberry plants down the Cape.
So I know, and it's been mentioned, we're not really talking about gold.
No.
Well, sure, it's
Again, honey is like gold in the sense that honey doesn't spoil. Honey lasts forever, so they say.
You know, the explorer Marco Polo, I'm sure you've heard of that name. He found honey and he called it the liquid gold. On his, he found some great honey in South America when he was down there. And he wrote about the honey and he called it his liquid gold. It is one of the few foods that don't spoil. They've taken honey out of Egyptian tombs that has been sealed and it's still edible. As long as you keep honey sealed to the air, because honey has such little water in it that it'll actually pull water out of the air. So as long as you keep it sealed, nothing can live in it. But if you leave it open, it will absorb water and then it may go bad. But sealed honey lasts indefinitely, and there's very few foods that last forever. And depending on what bees are getting their nectar from and the pollen in the area, there's all kinds of vitamins and minerals. Honey is not just sugar. It is really a superfood. That's why, I mean, I eat too much honey, put it that way. But it is a superfood.
Yeah, that's I imagine if you were a prepper, that'd be one thing that you'd want to have a few pounds of.
Well, I'm kind of a prepper myself. You know, we have our gardens here. I have my beehives here. I try to live as self-sustained as I can, within reason, well, my reason anyway. And the bees were a big help just with pollinating all the plants and the gardens and the apple trees.
That's what they made.
Oh, have I ever made mead? No, but there is a beekeeper in the area that sells mead.
What is mead?
Mead is fermented honey wine, I could say. Instead of the sugar that you use to make alcohol, if you were doing moonshine, you use honey and you ferment it. And mead is one of the oldest alcoholic beverages ever made.
right.
Yeah, we have a friend that makes mead. He's a beekeeper. He's very into saving the bees because without the bees, we have no food. You know, so
Without the bees, we'd no longer exist in too much time.
So he's really pushes the idea of planting wildflowers everywhere, planting plants that attract bees because we need them to survive.
Haven't seen many this year.
Yeah, when I'm out there on the river, I may complain in my videos about the black flies and the mosquitoes, but they're really important to our system. Everything works. Where I live here in Massachusetts, there are no more lightning bugs. Is that what they're called?
Really?
There are no more. They're gone.
Wow.
I live within 20 miles of Boston. But as soon as I drive up north to where the gold fields, the gold rivers are, there are still lightning bugs up there. But it just shows you that our ecosystem, we are losing a lot of insects at a very, very fast rate, not just bees. These pesticides we use on just about everything is killing a big part of our ecosystem.
And Ron for the Hills says they planted sunflowers on their farm to attract bees. And I think more people are falling into that, where they're realizing, you know, all the chemicals we've been using in our yards and our gardens is killing our bees, and we need our bees.
Yeah, the highway here in New Hampshire, up in New Hampshire, when I go up, they did a new reconstruction of the whole highway, and they planted wildflowers in the median. And it is absolutely beautiful to travel that stretch of road, Route 93, up through Rockingham, New Hampshire. They redid a whole section of highway, and they planted wildflowers on the sides in the middle of the median. And it's stunning, because all year a different group of flowers. Sometimes the whole median will be white, other times it'll be yellow, purple. All year long the flowers are changing, and it's amazing that they use it in such a great way. I hope they continue that.
Spread that all over the country.
Because the bees ain't going to get hit by the car.
Well, some will, but you know.
Maybe.
Mother
They're pretty
Nature
quick.
for you.
Every now and then I'll get a big flock of birds that'll hover around the house, and they come in and they'll take the bees. They'll wait outside the hive for them and get them as they're coming in. Big flocks, thousands of birds.
Wow. Never thought about that.
I go out there and make noise, bang, bang, and scare them away as much as I can.
Yeah, that's right, Mountaineer Michael. And Roundup is definitely bee killer.
Definitely.
I was showing people before the show. Let me show everybody now. I have this. Maine is where I started prospecting, and this piece, I didn't pull this out of the ground myself. I bought this from the person who did. And this is one of it's extremely rare to find green tourmaline anymore. And the only place you can find it is in Maine. And that area has been dug up pretty extensively. What's the name? It's near Paris.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and this piece here of green tourmaline that you can see, I'll give you some better light. I don't know if it is a nice piece. It's a great specimen. And it's sitting in this like quartz, and you know, there's different layers of it in there. And I'd love to try to break it open sometime, see what else is in there, but I'm kind of afraid. I just kind of want to leave it, you know, because that's the way I got it. And but this vein probably goes back in a little ways. But it's an interesting find for those anyone from Maine. I'm sure they'll know what I'm talking about. If there is an area up there that they mine that tourmaline pretty extensively.
It's gone now.
And it is gone now. They haven't found any more up there in a long time.
Oh man, hopefully when I'm up there I'll find a sample like that.
There's
Maybe.
purple left, purple tourmaline, they're still finding, but the green, I'm lucky to have a little piece of it.
Yeah, great find.
And mostly, you know, when I'm prospecting, we we do a lot of flood gold stuff. I've gotten because I've gotten good at it, I guess. Reading gravel bars and just being able to find that section of river that the pace slows down, or there's a bottleneck or a pinch point, and it'll drop the gold. We found a area in New Hampshire that was a huge deposit. We dug there for 3 years. A lot of our videos on Tunnel Brook are where we're getting a lot of good gold is from that spot. It's kind of where there's not much left there now, and I didn't film any until I didn't put any up until we were pretty close to the end of getting everything out, because I knew when people saw what was coming out of there, the locals that lived there would go there, and which they did. But there's still gold there, but we dug there for 3 years. And I don't know, we pulled, I don't know. We probably, it's in that one deposit, we probably pulled about 1.5 ounces. It's not a lot, it's a lot for around here because it's all fine placer gold, and it's a lot of work because it's a lot of processing, but we would just go and hang out for a few hours, bring home 1 gram of gold. Just go for another hangout for a few hours, bring home another gram of gold. So it, we didn't go there all the time, but it was one of those pockets that you like, to little areas that you like. I'm looking for another one. I need to find another one.
Your
So
mic.
there was a conversation there. David Villa asked about, do you still put mud on a sting? And no, you put honey on a sting.
Yeah, you put honey on a sting.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It'll draw the venom. It'll pull. Honey has a way. Like I said, it has very low amounts of moisture, so it will draw the moisture out of your skin if you put it on it.
Huh.
And people use it on their skin all the time. Some people buy it from me to use to do facial masks and things. And hospitals now have these bandages that has honey on one side, because if you get cut, honey is one of those things that we bring with us when we're out camping, because if you get a cut and you coat it with honey, nothing can live in the honey. No bacteria can live in it. So it's a great disinfectant for cuts. It can actually, if it's infected, you put honey on it and it'll help cure that infection.
Wow. Not only does it taste good, it cures you. Yeah, that's so. I love peanut butter and honey sandwiches.
Yeah, those are great.
Oh yeah.
I put honey in my coffee. I've gotten used to that, because why buy sugar when I've got beehives?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
How about the maple butter, Jesse, that we had in Vermont?
I'm getting a sugar rush just thinking of it.
Yeah, we did a trip up to Vermont, and we stopped at Mom and Pop's, which is a famous Vermont sugar house up there, and we bought those little maple sugar candies, and yeah, they're delicious, but they go right to your head. So
Oh
much.
yeah, we met up with a guy that's a maple farmer. Holy cow!
Yeah, Patrick's syrup in the coffee, Luke, huh?
Everybody in the chat room, Luke Duke decided he was going to copy the dude that does maple for a living. And this guy, I mean, he pours maple into his coffee. So Luke Duke decided he was going to do the same thing. Oh, he was running around like crazy. But I tell you what, that maple sauce or whatever it was he made, Holy cow, that stuff good.
You know that spread?
Yeah.
He made us a peanut butter sandwich, like a third of a jar of peanut butter, then a third of a jar of maple spread, handed it to us. It was all we could do to eat the whole sandwich, but it was good.
It's like creamed maple, I think they call it.
Yeah. It's like a sauce of some kind that you use.
It was excellent.
Oh yeah, using cooking and spread on bread.
Put it on your pancakes.
Yep. Very good stuff. Maple cream. That's what it was, Luke.
Yeah. Maple cream. That's it.
Luke was charged off of it that day.
That's funny.
They make creamed honey too. That is made as a spread. Made with crystallized honey.
So you sell your honey online or what?
Yeah, I have a honey stand, which is like a self-service honey stand. You come up, take what you want, put your money in the box. And I also have an online store at the hippie.com.
Hippie.com.
Well, I search hippie.com and it comes up for sale. The URL for sale, but I found.
Did you put the Hippie?
Oh, no, but I did find this one.
Darren wants to know if you can make caramel out of honey.
You can make a taffy. You can make caramel sauce out of honey.
Okay.
You have to heat it and evaporate even more of the water out of it, and kind of like regular sugar, it will get sticky. And you can make even a taffy. You can make a honey taffy as well by just heating it.
It takes me to the same site, but it will work under thehippie.com, but it takes me to the same site I found. I dropped the link down in the chat twice, because that way you could get twice as much.
I went to Spanish something.
I like those things. There's like little straws with flavored honey in them.
Yeah, we sell those.
When I go to my produce place I go to, I'll buy a handful of them things.
Yeah, we make them. We have like 12 different flavors.
Those are good.
Honey straws. They're a big seller. People like them because they take them with them.
Yes, in your backpack and everything, man. They like it.
Interesting.
What happened?
What'd you do, lose Ed?
I'm here.
Oh, Jesse said, what happened?
I don't know.
All of a sudden I lost.
Something's wrong on the.
I see it.
Oh, Sam's here. What's up, Sam? Gold Monkey.
Link works. Okay.
Yeah.
Link works fine for me. Ron says, run for the hills. Mining.
You got some gift sets. Graduation gift class. Honey candy and honey straws, huh?
See, that's the problem. You're surfing around on your laptop while we're live streaming.
Well, you put the link up there. I wanted to check it out because I love honey.
He's trying to buy some honey. Give me
Yeah, do a right click and open new tab.
And we also sell pay dirt up there. We have we got a good deal on some Garrett Super Sluice pans and the Mine Lab classifiers, which I use. I love both of them pans. So I sell the products that I use because people see what I use. They want to say, what do you use? So now they can get them right there. And, just a few prospecting items and beehive stuff.
Cool. Well, thank you, Jefferson State Gold. I agree. This is a great bunch. Definitely.
What happened to
Jefferson State Gold says he loves the Honeybee Explorer.
Now, thank you, Jefferson State Gold. We try to keep it interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I watched your video and I was curious about your gold that you got. your fate in gold.
Yeah,
sure.
that was disappointing. But you know, I should have been paying closer attention. It had to be the one that I left. I bought a bunch of pay dirt. I was going to do some videos on them, and I did, basically for the winter when I can't get out. And that's what I did. We were out camping last winter because if you haven't seen my tent, we have a tent with a wood stove in it, and we go out camping in the winter. And we'll do pay dirt or we'll do cleanups. We'll set up a recirculating sluice at the camp. But it's interesting camping in the winter.
Say hi to some people who just come in, like Ellsworth Carl. How are you tonight?
Carl family, good to see you.
Yes. So all the girls hi for us. Tim Johnson. How are you?
I bought the blue Mind Lab set. Oh,
This I said
the pans.
So I'm at the target.
I just want to make sure the hippie.com really working.
I like the Mind Lab pan. I like the Pioneer pan though.
Yeah, the Pioneer pants. The funny thing is I got some blue ones, Pioneer.
Yeah.
They were fine. And then I got some others. They were the same pan, blue, but the Keen had a label on them, and it was the same pan. I'm wondering, and I don't know if they have some kind of deal, but the blue ones were breaking. They'd last about 2 or 3 trips and they'd crack.
Huh.
And I like blue because the gold shows up on camera.
Yeah, no, you showed that comparison.
It must be something with the blue plastic. I mean, because I have another pan that's blue and it didn't break, but it has all white spots on it. You ever see a blue pan do that?
Yeah.
It gets like pressure areas, they turn white.
Oh, if they get hit or something.
Yeah.
I see.
And because I've seen other people's prospecting videos and their pans are turning white like that too. And that does funny things to my camera. So I'm looking for a good blue pan, and Pioneer so far is the only one, but I think theirs are turning white too, aren't they? Yeah. And
yeah, they will. I like it because it reminds me of my old Klondike pan I had like 30 years ago. Loved it. But I really
a nice 16-inch pan too.
Yeah. I'm a big Gold Claw fan too though.
I love my clear gold claw.
And clear's my favorite with Gold Claw. For some reason I just love the way it is.
I've never used one. I have another pan I tried once, but it's not a Gold Claw. It's a long rectangular pan with ripples just on one end. I only used it once, and I have so many different prospecting equipment that I used once, never used. I have a pyramid pan too, one of those Fossicker pans. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
But I wasn't when I had that, and I used it for a regular run. I felt it was losing gold compared to a regular pan. I was able to process material faster, so.
Well, that's what it is. It's a full-blown production pan, you know. I have one. Good thing I won it. I would have never paid the $99 for it.
You got one for Christmas too.
And it's kind of like the flow through by Gold Hog. I'm not gonna pay that kind of money for a pan sluice flow through pan like that, especially when I have to put it together every time I pack into a place.
Oh, you're talking about the gold, the flow through pan.
Yeah.
The gold hog one.
But
I'd love to try a Batea pan.
I want to try one of those.
I'll let you try mine, Jesse. I have a
Okay.
plastic potato pan from XP. Um, it's pretty cool. It's different. Maybe Chris will let us try his metal one he has
Oh, he's got a metal one.
when
Yeah,
we
he's
go
got
to Picker Hollow.
Cool.
But have you tried? You haven't tried one yet, right, Wes?
No, I haven't tried one yet, but they look like they can process a lot of material fast.
Uh,
I watched Dan Hurd's review, and I agree with him 100% on his review that he did on the pans. And I love the Garrett Super Sluice. I like the Pioneer pan. And I'd love to try a Batea pan just for processing purposes. One thing I didn't like about the Pyramid Fossicker pan is the depth of water needed to use it right. It was like 8 inches or so. A lot of times you don't have that.
Brian says you could try his when he comes to Maine.
Brian Carey.
When you guys come up to Maine, you can
And
try
we're
Brian's
getting up there. We're
potato.
getting up there this year. It may be the next time we go because the water levels in Vermont right now are real high. We've had some lot of rain. Everything's at flood level around where I live and southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire.
We just last week got a ton of rain through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rivers are moving real fast right now. I seen a post today how the cows in Vermont are all standing in puddles in the fields, and it's been a long time. It's out of the norm, all this rain we're getting.
Yeah, it's not good for their hoofs.
We can't be too good, no.
I think the ones they use for diamonds are similar to the Batea, but don't they have a round bottom, kind of like a wok compared to a
Aren't they
pointed?
Saruka or something like that? The ones they use for diamonds.
Well, I think you might be talking about like in Africa and stuff. They use a Batea type pan for diamond mining too, but I know a lot of people in the here would use a Saruka for diamonds.
Right.
I have to fix the Saruka I made. I need a stronger mesh. Do not use regular strength screen door mesh for your Saruka.
Not strong enough.
No, it will rip through. I'll do it. I used Dan Hurd. Speaking of Dan Hurd again, I used his design, and I came to the same conclusion he did. He replaced it with pet-proof screening, and says
Right.
that works great in his Saruka. So I'll do the same thing. And
Obviously, GPU's wife is not within earshot.
Till you hear the sound of the pan hitting. Ping!
Yes, he does. He does. Dan does have some good videos on the Saruka. And again, that's another one of those tools that it takes practice to get it.
I miss Dan's do-it-yourself videos when he was a shop teacher. I don't think he's a shop teacher anymore, I guess. But he hasn't done those in a long time.
I haven't seen them. That might be before me.
They're really good. He makes a Saruka, he makes classifiers, all kinds of other stuff. He was a shop teacher at one time, and then his students had an interest in prospecting, so he talked to the school, and he had a class that involved prospecting geology and do it yourself. So it kind of worked into his shop class.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I knew he was a teacher.
Yeah,
but
he did retire. Okay.
He's making more money as a YouTuber than he was as a teacher.
as of last year, he was teaching. Is he still teaching? Or?
No, I believe he retired.
Oh,
Probably because of his heart attack, maybe.
Right. That and COVID, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's able to do YouTube full time now. I'd take that job over construction any day,
Yeah.
or teaching if I was a teacher. Where did Tom go? Must be changing shirts or something.
yeah, he took a break, I think.
He was working so hard.
I've seen a lot of comments about Tom's shirt.
I didn't even notice what shirt he was wearing. I'm sitting right next to him. I get used to him. You know, some of them are so crazy, I don't even think of him anymore. But I just seen which one he was wearing.
His shirts are quite colorful.
They are. Take notice. We were walking around
I was changing my shirt.
Oh, you was. Take a look at that one. That's a beauty.
Gotta love him, Tom.
We were walking around Walmart. What was it, about a week ago, up in Montpelier, Vermont. I've never even been there, to Montpelier, Vermont. And a clerk that worked there comes up with a camera in his hands, says, "Can I take your picture?" And I'm like, what did I do? I'm not stealing nothing. And he says, "No, I watch your YouTube videos." And we're like, oh, and then I realized, well, we do kind of stand out a little bit with him and his shirts, and he was wearing shirts with donuts all over him. And I'm not sure, but I guess we're not too discreet when we're out.
So you've been approached already, huh?
Yeah.
We usually bring this up during the show too, you know. Like how many times have you been approached? Like, I know you. I watch all your videos.
Yeah, that's happening a lot lately. Especially when we're up in New Hampshire. I mean, at gas stations, the post office, and I think it is probably because we stand out. You know, even if I have a mask on, they still know it's me. I don't know why. But they did.
I was recognized by my voice.
By your voice?
Yeah, by my voice. I was recognized by my voice. And I was in Arkansas. And I live in Ohio.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, that time at the Crater of Diamonds.
Right. And Ed was recognized by his voice.
Yeah, in Menards.
Right.
That's a golden voice. Ed's voice is golden.
Oh, brother, I wish, Wes.
You're right where you need to be, doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, I love it. But, yeah, I was talking to Judy, and someone goes, "I hear Ed in the shed." And I'm like, "Yes, you do." It was another YouTuber, too, from my area, a blacksmith.
You know, that's something, if you're going to do YouTube, you're going to put your face out there. It's going to happen. You better learn to accept it right away, because, you know, when it happens, first time it happens, it's a shocker. I mean, whoa, you know. So, yeah, you have to be ready, and you got to be willing to accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say my little thing about maybe one day too we'll meet you on the river, is because it happens. Not always on the river.
Disguises ready, like a rubber nose and glasses.
It's the voice.
Wes, show the gold dance.
No, the gold dance can only be done on the river. If
Okay.
you want good gold, you got to have a good gold dance, but you got to be careful because if you do a bad gold dance, you might get skunked and get nothing. And that happens sometimes.
So you better
So,
do a good gold dance. Now, what's the difference
that's the gold
between
dance that you do that is before you find the gold. The
right?
gold dance you do after you find the gold, that one is just for fun, depending on what you find. And so I've been known to dance even over a speck sometimes, depending on where you are.
It all adds up.
It does. The first trip here we've done in Vermont has been rough. There is so much black sand. I've never seen so much black sand in a river. I normally look for the black sand, and that leads me to the gold. But there's black sand all over this river, and there's an iron mine just downstream.
Oh,
It's long gone, but there's a historical marker there and the mine is there. There's a video coming up where we go to the old mine. We see where they processed it, and it's just in the middle of the woods. There's nothing left, but there's markers there and the mine is there. But we didn't go in. We just kind of looked from a distance. I'm not one for going into caves and stuff.
So we got some more bee questions.
Bee questions. Go ahead, shoot.
Amethyst wants to know. Well, Amethyst says, I enjoy beekeeping and videos. Will you ever consider doing some of those videos in the future?
Well, I do have a beekeeping YouTube channel called the Hippie. The prospecting one is the Hippie Explorer. So the Hippie, I have videos over there of how to extract honey from the bees, and I talk about all different kinds of things about the bees, but I haven't put any, I put things up occasionally there, but not a lot. I'm not sure why. It's just I put up what I wanted to put up, and now there's nothing left really to say unless something interesting happens. The last one up video I put up over there was a swarm. You can see me catch a swarm and put it into a new box and have them all flying around me. There's a couple of videos up there where I'm in the middle of a bee swarm and taking them out of trees and
I was going to ask you ever get calls from people to come remove hives and stuff from their yards? Or
I've actually did that. I've cut siding off a house so they could remove bees.
Yep. Those are cutouts.
We got 4 swarms this year.
Yeah, we took 4 this year from around town. People called us up, and we bring them. We'll either raise it as a hive or combine it with one of ours or sell it to somebody that's looking for bees.
you sell them, huh?
Yeah, the people are looking for bees.
So are there more and more people doing this now?
I think there's more residential people doing it because of the Save the Bees, and people realize that, you know, if you want your flowers and your gardens in your area. I mean, before I got bees, the flowers and trees in this area they weren't producing. Now that I have bees, all my neighbors for 3 miles around, their gardens are doing better, the trees are doing better, and you can see the wildflower. Everything's doing better because everything's getting pollinated. Now, some of my neighbors may not have any idea why, because they see I got a honey stand. I mean, for a few years, I didn't even have that, so nobody even knew I had bees. Even my next door neighbor didn't even know I had bees because they don't bother anybody. They just do their thing. Let them be. No pun intended.
I know they truck them around on semis to different orchards and stuff to pollinate them. They move bees around.
Yeah. One of the largest apiaries in the country is right here in my own town. And they have hundreds of thousands of hives, and they pollinate the blueberries and the cranberries and the oranges and the almonds nationwide. That's where I get my bees from.
Oh,
GoPro Unlimited, bee stings with their behind with a stinger, wasp bite with their mouth. Question mark, correct, Hippie?
What's the question?
They all sting.
say a wasp stings too. It don't bite.
Yeah, they bite also. Well, I know a yellow jacket
It
bites
stings
and
repeatedly.
stings.
It can sting repeatedly. A bee stings once.
A queen can also sting repeatedly. And, you know, all the insects like bees, they have the mandibles where they can bite and they can give you a pinch. And that's what they use as their main weapon when they're being attacked by other bees is their mandibles, their mouth. They'll clip off the wings of the other bees, and now those bees are helpless. So that's what they go for. It's interesting that they know exactly where to go. It's like a bee, you know, if I'm out in the yard and there's a hive is agitated, the first thing they go for is your head. They know to go right to the head. And I don't know how they know that, but I've gotten it good a few times when I haven't been paying attention.
And once they're going after you, they're not going after anybody else around you.
Yeah, well, first one leaves a pheromone that lets the others know this is the threat.
Right.
And then
I
they
got
come
attacked
in.
by honeybees before I know all about it.
Yeah, that's why
You cannot run fast enough. You cannot hide. You cannot nothing.
we use smoke, and the smoke helps to confuse the pheromone.
Yes.
Because when you're taking honey from the hive, you may get occasionally you'll have bees try to sting you. Even if I use a full suit, but they'll still try to sting you and leave that pheromone. But the smoke keeps them calm, because when bees smell smoke, they feel like the forest is on fire, so they gorge themselves on honey.
Yes.
And when they do that, they're sluggish because they're loaded up with honey. They're ready to go and leave the nest if the queen does.
I thought they were so full they're ready to take a nap.
Yeah, that too.
When I got attacked, I was coming out of the woods from squirrel hunting, walked by some hives and kicked the pallet they were sitting on. And that was all it took.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you can get stung by a bee on your arm and it may not be that bad, but if you get stung behind the ear, it'll be the most painful thing you've ever seen. It just depends what nerves are in the area and how much venom they pump into you.
Right after you get that stinger off of you.
Yeah, I got stung like 3 times around this ear and this side of the head, and my ear swelled up, my face swelled up, and it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced in my life. Now I make sure.
Sting?
Drones, I think, can sting. Yeah. Drones can sting, but they don't do nothing.
And David V asks, Wes, how's the new drone?
The new drone is going good, and we actually had a subscriber, Donnie Wood, sent us a DJI Spark. So now we got 2.
Wow.
Now I can have a drone taking a picture of a drone.
Nice.
So I'm going to try that sometime.
DJI too, they're a good drone.
Yeah, I was shocked that because we had that accident on Abenaki Brook. I was flying my drone low down the river, and it went under a tree, and from where I was looking, I couldn't see it anymore because it went behind the tree.
Right.
And I did a shot up there, and then I backed up. Well, the drone must have drifted, and I couldn't tell it drifted a little bit. It's supposed to have GPS positioning, but it drifted a little bit. So when I backed up, I was expecting it to come out from behind the tree, but I hit the tree and it fell in the water, and that was the end of that.
Oh.
It never started up again. I lost one battery. I have 3 batteries. It killed the battery, it killed the drone, but we have our viewers are amazing. They sent us in donations, and we got just the drone, the DJI Mini. We were able to find just that, and we're back up with we'll have our aerial footage again, which is really beautiful. I really enjoy the drone footage. I want to use it more. Now that I have 2, I can guess I don't have to be so afraid of losing it, because I've had the Mini can get blown around in the wind, and I've had the drone get blown away. I've been lucky enough to find it every time, but it can get blown away real easy in the mountains.
Drone to submarine, Mark says.
Moto
Yeah.
Mining wants to know how a smoker works and what it's made of.
Smoker is just a can with it has a bellows on it, and the bellows push air through the bottom. There's like you take pine needles or wood shavings or anything that you want to pack down in the smoker, and you pack it down tight and you light it. Now you can light it different ways, but what I do is I just take a propane torch and heat the outside of the smoker on the bottom until the stuff inside starts smoking, and you pump it. And if you have it packed nice and tight, it'll sit there and smoke for an hour or more. It's a tricky little process. Every time, it seems to me, every time I need my smoker and the bees are acting up and they're going to sting me, the smoker's out. So, but we'll see about that. I got some new material today, actually, that I'm putting in the smoker for fuel, wood shavings.
Oh.
Amethyst said drones are the male bees. Do they sting? She asked only because she's seen JP the bee man put one in his mouth.
Male bees do have a stinger. Whether you're going to upset them or not to sting you, I would assume putting it in your mouth would upset them enough to sting you.
Good idea.
It's not a good idea.
I wouldn't.
I know somebody,
Unless he's got a really intimate relationship with that bee. No, I wouldn't either.
I mean, I don't ask a bee what sex it is before it stings me, so I'm assuming they all sting. I know a queen has a stinger because I've been stung by a queen, and that hurts even more than a regular bee. I'm trying to think if I've ever heard that they don't. I'm pretty sure that male bees have a stinger. They are larger than the female bees. The drone is a little bit larger than the male bees, but the drones don't do anything. They don't go out to defend the hive. They don't pollinate. They don't collect nectar. They just go out to mate with other queens. And when the winter comes, they get thrown out and they all die. So if you're going to get stung by a drone, it's probably going to be by accident, because they're not trying to defend anything.
So drones are pretty much just the queen bee sex slave.
Yeah, they just sit on the couch playing video games until it's time for sex.
That's why they get kicked out.
Probably.
some of your honey.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you very much.
I got the combo pack, the 2 jars. So what are bees?
What's that?
Bees. It says it comes with some bees. Those hard candies.
Bees?
The package I got here. The 1 jar fall, 1 jar spring honey, and it has some beeswax and some honey, some bees or something.
Oh, it's got a honey soap.
It has a honey soap in there. We make soap with honey. Well, we put honey in the soap.
Oh, that's a bar of soap.
Yeah,
It's got candies in it.
There's also candy in there.
Cool.
And is there a candle as well?
No, I
I'm
think
not
there's
sure.
a beeswax lip balm.
There might be a lip balm, because we make lip balm too with the beeswax. So many things you can make with beeswax and honey.
Well, I ordered this special 1 pound jars.
Yeah,
Free bees.
yeah,
Freebies.
the freebies. Yeah, the freebies. Yeah, yeah. You will get some freebies in there.
Oh,
I'm thinking, are they going to be live or what?
I'll make sure I send you a Hippie channel sticker too. No, the bees won't be live.
Okay, good.
It's funny because I have sell pay dirt as well, and Larson, I sent Larson Prospecting, Gavin from Larson Prospecting, a bag of pay dirt, and I keep it out in the shed, and the bees, which is a greenhouse, and the bees sometimes will go in the greenhouse and can't get out, and they'll die, and they fell into the bucket of pay dirt. So he bought pay dirt for me, and I scooped out a bucket and I sent to him. I added the gold to it. I sent it to him, and he's panning it out, doing a video, and there's a bee in the pay dirt. And I laughed and I said, maybe I should be adding a bee to everyone.
That way they'll know where it came from.
Yeah. It was funny because I was waiting for him to do his video. And I'm watching it, and the way he looked at it, and I could tell he must have looked at his parents who were standing behind the camera. He said, I think it's a bee. And I laughed. I said, it could be.
One More Pan likes that idea.
Yeah, so if you get pay dirt from me, you might get a bee in it. It will be dead.
Get one of those guys that tired themselves out.
What do you where do you plan on taking your prospecting channel?
It's a struggle just to get a video up every Wednesday. So we try to be out at least 10 or 12 episodes. And that's about what we're out right now, but we got to keep going. So we've done a lot in New Hampshire. So we're either going back to Vermont or to Maine within tomorrow or the next day. We're going to leave tomorrow, but work has kept us. We're going to have to finish up some work. The next day, we're probably going to go on Thursday, either into Vermont or Maine. Stay for whatever, as long as we can until work calls us home.
Don G asked, Coos Canyon?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've done a lot of Coos Canyon, East Branch of the Swift, the Sandy River up there in Maine, the Tumbledown Brook, Black Brook, Bog Brook, Gold River. I mean, I've done a lot of prospecting in Maine. There's some good gold up there. And
That's where we started.
That's where we started. So we want to get back up there. and show people what kind of gold can be found up there.
That's where our buddy Rob Woodhouse is from.
Yeah.
He prospects Coons Canyon.
Yep. Coos Canyon is a great little area. I mean, it's the most popular in Maine. In New Hampshire, you've got the wild Ammonoosuc. That's popular for there. And in Vermont, you've got the Buffalo Brook, Broad Brook area. That's like a real popular place in Vermont. So each state has its own popular areas. And I like to touch on those a little bit, but I like going to those rivers that people haven't heard about and find out if we can find some gold in those, you know. It's kind of like it's what I was looking for when I was looking to I wanted to know where to go, where I can park, and different areas, because, you know, some people don't want to travel a lot. They want to go out after work. So I try to spread what we do around New England.
Yeah, like, you know, unfortunately for us, it's 2-hour drive, hour and a half, 2-hour drive anywhere we go, or more.
Yeah, that's why I pack up. We bring our tent, which has a wood stove, and we'll stay. We generally stay for between 4 to 5 days at a time, but we've stayed up to 9 or 10. Whatever. When work calls us home, we gotta run. I mean, last year was great because there wasn't much. You know, with the COVID, things were slow, so we had a lot of time to get out on the river. This year is not the case.
I'm going to give you Rose's question that she likes to ask. If money was no object, time, and you could go and prospect wherever you wanted to go, where would you go?
Where we've been going. I
Right
think
where I've been
it's
going, I'd
beautiful
go
there.
back to Tunnel Brook in New Hampshire and sit on that brook and stare at the trees all day. And the gold may not be the best, but the water is clean, and I know it so well.
So even if you had a chance to go to like Australia or Tasmania, New Zealand, or
Alaska.
Well, let me just put it this way. The furthest I have ever been from this place I'm in right now, this house, is about 8-hour drive away. And that's about as far as I've traveled from this town of Billerica I'm in. So I don't do too much traveling outside of New England. I've gone down to Atlantic City and out to Niagara Falls, but that's about as far as I've ever traveled, until maybe next year's Flash Bash, and then I'll have to go.
there you go.
Make sure I got the tent ready and plenty of money with me.
It's it's gonna be a nice drive for you, but it took me 15 hours to get to my son, but I did take a 2-3 hour break in Herkimer, so.
Well, you know, it's something where maybe I can do some prospecting along the way, stay a few days here and a few days
Oh
there.
yeah,
And then, so it's not a big rushed event.
right.
That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do some prospecting in New York.
Well, Vicky made it there from Maine. She's from Maine. Her and her son, and Digging with Deej. She came from Michigan. We have people all over. Kansas, the Carolinas.
I saw some of the clips that JP put up from Flash Bash. It looked like a really good time. It was interesting because it felt like I was there. I know all these people, but I'm not there. Now I need to go.
Check out like Digging with Deej. She has a couple. If you just like hashtag and search Flash Bash a
Right,
whole
right,
bunch will come up.
right, right.
Um,
I'll have to do that.
but it's a great time. I'm surprised not as many videos. It's mostly content creators that come, Wes.
Right.
And
Everybody was
last year's a lot more people videotaped. This year, only a handful did, and the creators took it as kind of a break in social gathering.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
When you're doing it all the time, it like, see, we'll be out on the river sometimes now, and some guy will come walking up the river and, hey, I know who you are, and we'll stop and talk for an hour. And
right.
it's enjoyable to do, and I like meeting people. But then, after he's gone, I don't got no footage. So, it's almost like if I want to meet people, then I'm not going to film that day, because when you're filming, there's so many different things and clips and intros and outros for every little segment that you need. You don't want to be worried about that. You just want to go and have a good time.
Ohio Relic Hunter brought up a good point too. By not visiting the rest of the states, you're missing out on some beautiful country.
Yeah.
Traveled all across this country, hitchhiked for 3 years, and this country is just beautiful. I don't understand why people want to go overseas and have not visited this country yet.
I agree with you, Jesse. I've been to all the lower 48, and our country is beautiful. No matter what state you're in, I don't care if it's Iowa, you're gonna see some type of beauty somewhere.
I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't traveled so far from home, is because there's so much I still haven't seen here in New England. I mean, and it's beautiful. In my younger days, I was an expedition canoeist, and we would go on week-long trips of the St. Johns River and the Allagash Waterway, and travel by canoe. We'd get dropped off at a little stream in the middle of the wilderness, and the only way out is in that canoe. And you take that for 150 miles, and Maine is beautiful.
Oh,
It's all owned by paper companies, so there's no houses, that northern section of Maine. And I'd love to get back up there. It's just
I
beautiful.
saw my first moose ever in Maine.
Yeah, was a moose on Cape Cod, I heard today, and that's really odd for a moose
Wow.
to get down on Cape Cod, but it's down on the Cape.
Huh.
I got a picture of it.
Yeah, Flash Bash has been such a success. People are trying to get us to do 2 of them a year. But I don't know about that. and although Deej is asking about Gold Rush Day is happening Labor Day weekend in Ohio, which is also a great time. That's a weekend event. That's a Buckeye chapter of the GPA puts on every year.
Yeah, it's been going on for about 20 some odd years now.
Wow,
that's a good time.
Yeah, we've even had people come from Dubai to the Gold Rush days.
Yep. One guy was from Australia, I believe, at that one time.
Right. It's really a good time. A lot of people get together. Vendors.
Vendors was there.
That's the actual event. There's vendors, there's duck races, there's speed panning competitions, there's common digs, there's entertainment some years. There's a day and night metal detecting hunt, kids hunts, um, all kinds of stuff. It's quite the festivities. Nothing like Flash Bash. Flash Bash is just
Different.
more of a meet and greet,
Right.
and you hang out and you prospect and enjoy.
Crazy Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
Funny.
So tomorrow night is our premiere, 7:30, and there is going to be a new cast member to be
Ah,
joining me and Tom occasionally. And tomorrow night is his debut, and he'll be on periodically. We'll see how it goes. He's been behind the scenes working with us.
cameraman.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
A little
He's been behind the scenes working with the bees,
Ah,
and now he's going to be out there making a few appearances.
right on.
Tomorrow night's his big debut.
Yeah, Mike, the New Hampshire Gold Prospector said he'll be there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. It's always a lot of fun talking with people every week when they come to the premiere.
So you do a premiere every Wednesday, huh? You premiere your videos?
Yeah, every Wednesday, 7:30, and sometimes we're out prospecting and we have to drive into a town that has service and sit in a gas station so that we can be there and talk every week. And we do what you got to do.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in your last video where you gave Ed a shout out.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll actually film it if we're out. If it's one of the days we're filming and there's a premiere, we'll go out there and watch the premiere, and it actually makes the video. That's what we do.
Excellent.
Product placement. Your
Wow.
product placement.
2 hours have gone by already.
Yeah, it goes by quick, huh?
And time flies when you're having a good time.
It was great being here tonight, everybody, and thanks for having us on. I always come in every Tuesday and lurk around. I'll be sure to be coming in saying hello.
Well, we'd love to have you part of our live community here on Tuesday nights. It's my favorite night of the week.
And this is really this is the best way to promote your channel is to be a guest on here, because that's what we're about, promoting other people's channels.
Yeah, but there is etiquette too, Jesse.
I suppose you'd come here and try to spam, but we don't like it. We don't appreciate it. That's why those that do that get blocked the way they do.
Or
Yeah.
yeah,
That's great.
when we promote one channel at a time, more or less.
Right.
And like your channel, your website, everything about you guys tonight. And next week is an open line Tuesday, so when we open up the line, then you could come on and be our sucker, our guest, and promote your channel. We don't mind at all during open line Tuesday. It's just there is an etiquette for live chat rooms. I know there's a lot of channels out there that allows everybody and their brother to promote their channel and live stream. Nothing wrong against that. That's their thing. But we like to focus on the conversation of the guest and our guest.
You do a great job. You do a great job.
Well, thank you very much. I have several great co-hosts. One of them's not here tonight, unfortunately. But we look forward to having you back, Rose. Say what?
I said everybody misses her.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, greatly. Um, but thanks again, Wes
For those that missed it,
and Tom.
he does have a beekeeping channel called Hippie.
The Hippie.
The Hippie is his beekeeping channel, and the Hippie Adventure, right?
Hippie Explorer is the prospecting channel.
Right. So if you're into the bees and want to know about bees, hit him up on that channel.
I'm dropping a link to the Hippie right now.
Maybe you can convince him to put more videos out about what you'd like to see.
And if you are someone who really wants to delve into some other interesting things, I'm also a minister, and I have a channel that talks about spirituality and ancient religious teachings.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Occult stuff, all interesting things that people want to know about, like magic and different spirituality and different religions and cultures around the world. That's just another hat. That channel is just my name, Wesley Perron.
Yeah, so your MB channel is probably going to get some more subs tonight.
Well, I know I subbed earlier, so.
Oh, thank you very much.
And looks like the Carl family subbed, and several others, hopefully.
Sure.
David B.I. Hey, Don. BMXer. Just in time.
This is time to say goodbye.
Moto Mining subbed. Interaction was great in the room tonight. It seemed like everyone was interested in your bees and honey. That was the treasure tonight.
Ohio Relic Hunter said, great guest. Bring him back, Ed.
Well, yeah, definitely sometime in the future if you'd like to join us again, Wes.
Well, hey,
and Tom. Don't want to exclude Tom.
We'll see what the travels brings. Maybe we'll see you at Flash Bash next year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. And we'll definitely be keeping everyone posted on next year's Flash Bash also. It's already in the works. I'll put
one more time. What time is your premiere tomorrow?
7:30.
Is that Eastern Standard?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, whatever. Head over to the Hippie Explorers premiere. Join them in their live chat. Again, everybody, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, all of you being here, along with our special guests. Remember, next week, Open Line Tuesday. Any other news? Dano might be tuning in live from...
Tomorrow.
Will you be tuning in live from the Motherlode, Dano?
I think it'll be, what, 4:30 out there when he premieres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be at Walmart gaining my supplies at that point.
Well, I'm talking about Tuesday night Hangout Live. Are you back before Tuesday?
Yes, I'll be back Monday.
Oh, okay.
Now, when I go out in August, no, I'll be out there. So I'll be doing it from Todd's house like we usually do.
Okay. Well,
have a safe flight.
Definitely, Dano.
And Dano, tell Barb that no, Ruby still has her female problem. I didn't move out.
Oh,
Have a good night, everyone.
definitely. Thank you all again. Until next week, may you always have a flash in your pen.
You know what he's going to say next.
That's right, Jesse, because it happens. And maybe next flash fashion will happen with us, with Wes and Tom. But maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all.
Good night, everybody. Yes, Mark Miller. Call in next week and sing your song.
See you in the morning, Patrick Moore.
And Two Tones and everybody out west. Take care of our buddies.
Yep.
Make
Good
sure-
night, Thomas,
4,
Patrick,
3, 2,
Mr. Lodak.
1.
Thank you, brother. Mark, Moto. Always start at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Dawn. I hope to see you next time.
Later, Thomas.
LBPA forever.
LBPA for life, forever. You got that right.
See you in the morning, Patrick, my brother.